Welcome back, Math Grizz. Today, we will identify which numbers round to a certain 10. List all the numbers that round to 30. We will start by creating a number line. On this number line, we need the number 30. We also need the previous 10. So the previous 10 before 30 is 20. And all of these numbers are between 20 and 30. And now we need the following 10. The following 10 after 30 is 40. And we have all of these numbers between 30 and 40. So now we have 30, we have 20, and we have 40. Now we need to figure out all the numbers that round to 30. The first thing we're going to do is think about halfway between 20 and 30. We know that halfway is 25. And we know that anything halfway or greater rounds up. So let's go ahead and start here with 21. We know that 21 is less than halfway, which is 25. So 21 is much closer to 20 than it is to 30. So we know that 21 rounds to 20. Now 22 is less than halfway, so we know that 22 is closer to 20 than it is to 30. So 22 rounds to 20. 23 is also closer to 20 than it is to 30. Even 24 is closer to 20, and it's further away from 30. But now halfway and greater, we know rounds up to the next 10. So we know that 25 is going to round up to 30. 26 is also going to round up to 30 because it's closer to 30 and further away from 20. So 26 also rounds to 30. 27 is clearly closer to 30 than it is to 20, and so is 28 and 29. They are way closer to 30 and further away from 20. Now let's keep going. Now we're going from 30 to the next 10, which is 40. We know halfway is 35. So let's think. 31. Is 31 closer to 30 or 40? We know that 31 is closer to 30. 32 is also closer to 30. Even 33 and 34. But now we have 35, which is halfway between 30 and 40. And we know that anything halfway or greater is going to round up to the next 10. So 35 actually rounds to 40. 36 also rounds up to 40 because it's closer to 40 and further away from 30. 37 is also closer to 40 and farther away from 30. And 38 and 39 are clearly closer to 30 than they are to 40. So we know that from 25 to 34, all of these numbers, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 31, 32, 33, and 34, all round to 30 because they're closer to 30 than they are to the previous 10 and the following 10. List all the numbers that round to 50. Again, we need 50, we need the previous 10, which is 40, and the following 10, which is 60. So now we have our 10s, we have 40, we have 50, and we have 60. So now we know that halfway between 40 and 50 is 45. We know all the numbers below halfway are going to round to 40 because they're closer to 40 and further away from 50. Now halfway, which is 45, and up is going to round up to 50. So 45 rounds up to 50. 46, 47, 48, and 49 also round up to 50 because they're closer to 50 and further away from 40. Now we have 50 to 60. Halfway is 55. We know that anything halfway and greater rounds up, and anything below halfway stays with the 50. 51, 52, 53, and 54 are all closer to 50 than they are to 60. Now 55 is halfway, so we know 55 will round up to 60. 56, 57, 58, 59 are all clearly closer to 60 and further away from 50. So we know that from 45 to 54, all of these numbers, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 51, 52, 53, and 54, all round to the nearest 10, which is 50. List all the numbers that round to 10. Here we have 10, Now we need the previous 10 before 10, which is actually 0 tens. And the following 10 after 10 is 20. So we have 0, we have 20, and we have 10. Let's go ahead and think. Halfway between 0 and 10 is 5. So we know that anything 5 and greater will have to round up to 10, and anything below that will go back down to 0 tens. We know that 1 is closer to 0 tens than it is to 10, so 1 rounds to 0 tens. 2 also rounds to 0 tens. It's farther away from having a 10. 3 is closer to 0 tens, and 4 is closer to 0 tens. Now 5 is halfway between 0 tens and 10, so we know that 5 will round up to 10. 6 is closer to 10. 7 is closer to 10 and further from 0 tens. 8 and 9 are also closer to 10 and further away from 0 tens. Now, halfway between 10 and our next 10, which is 20, is 15. We know anything halfway and greater will round up, and anything less than halfway will round down to 10. So 11 is closer to 10, 12 is closer to 10, 13 is closer to 10 than 20, 14 is also closer to 10 and further away from 20. Now 15 will round up to 20, 16, 17, 18, and 19 are all closer to 20 and further away from 10. So we know that from 5 to 14, all of those numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, and 14 all round to 10.